Hi there. My name is David Batsoffen and I host a travel blog called Travel and Things. I'm doing a series called In Conversation With, and today I'm in conversation with Mark Banks. How do I describe him? I'm not even going to try. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, David. How are you?
All right, thank you.
All
Fair
lovely?
enough. Where does lockdown find you?
Lockdown at the moment. Is this for broadcast or just unofficially? Or
No.
really?
This will be broadcast eventually, I think. Perhaps. I don't know,
Okay.
Mark. We'll
I'm
we'll
not
stumble through and see what happens.
Okay, I'm in one of my homes.
You're in one of your homes.
Yes,
You have many?
of course.
Okay.
Why have you only got the one?
Well, that's all I'm going to own up to. I can't let the tax man know how
Okay.
many I have.
No, I'm locked down. I'm in Johannesburg at the moment. I'm in Parktown West.
Parktown. I didn't know there was a Parktown West.
Yeah, well, I didn't until when I read the court papers on the summons. No, when Google Earth told me that this is Parktown West. It's Parktown West, Braamfontein Werf,
Yeah.
Richmond Extension, Auckland Park, Melville Bel Ombre, or Empire Road Escape Route Runway 3.
But how come you're not at your other home, at your coastal home?
Well, it's not. The other home is down in Carletsdorp on the world's longest wine route. The longest wine route in the world, Route 62.
Really?
The port capital of the world, Carletsdorp. That's for all the travel people who probably didn't know that. The longest wine route in the world is on Route 62, and the port capital of South Africa is Carletsdorp. If you ever get that on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? South Africa's port capital.
And when you say port capital, you're talking about the drinkable port.
No, ships. We get shipping, the main shipping lanes from Somalia to. They think they've escaped that, and then we say, well, here's the port capital, and they normally run aground, going over the Outeniqua Pass.
Right.
No, the port wine.
Yeah, but just isn't. You talk about the Outeniqua Pass, Mark. Has Carletsdorp got a supermarket now, or do you still have to schlep over the mountains?
No, we have a supermarket. We have a fantastic supermarket. We've got several fantastic supermarkets. We've got butcheries, haberdasheries. We've got department stores, Stutterfords, regrouped in Carletsdorp. We have 3 branches of Stutterfords in the main street. They're all closed, they're derelict buildings, but it's the idea of what has happened to the concept of the department store.
Okay, because I heard that Greatermans was thinking about reopening there.
They were there, but like all the good macros in the old days, I set fire to that as well. Nothing like a bit of arson now and then, hey? Good old arson.
But once you've set a building alight, Mark, do you stay and watch and maybe toast a marshmallow or two, or do you just light and run?
No, you don't have to do any filming these days. Everything that ever happens on the planet is filmed. It doesn't matter where it is or what's happening. It can be 3 a.m, somebody setting fire to themselves on top of the old hill, the old naval hill between Pietermaritzburg and the Valley of 1,000 Hills, the old fire beacons there. Somebody will film it. Somebody will have it.
I always wonder how come, exactly what you've just pointed out, no matter what happens anywhere on the planet, there is always somebody who has a phone camera.
Yes, not at the Kennedy assassination, funny enough. The one person who filmed that only came forward 34 years later and said, oh, I've filmed that. And they didn't come out before that. 35 years they waited to bring that little bit of 8mm film out.
Could you imagine that nowadays, waiting, because everything is so instantaneous that it's in fact posted before the event even happened.
I know. I'm getting a message now from a friend in London who is sending me footage of the two of us having this interview now, and he lives in Catford in a garage, and he's just sent me footage of us doing this now.
It's amazing and scary at the same time.
It is. Technology is just creeping up with us. Even my pirate DVD man, he has pirate movies of movies that haven't been completed yet in Hollywood, and I can get them from him just down the road here in Stanley Avenue, just in front of the building, in front of 44 Stanley Avenue.
Yeah.
In fact, Hollywood producers come out to get the DVD from him of the movie they're making in Hollywood to see how it ends. It's incredible. It really, really is. He's got Fast and Furious 11.
Really?
Yep. Downton Abbey 3 and Rocky 12 he has.
In which Sylvester Stallone finally gets buried.
No, the mother plays Sylvester Stallone in Rocky 11. I watched it last night, funny enough, after Downton Abbey 4.
But are they in 3D or is this new technology?
They are in 3D, but I don't have the glasses, unfortunately. I don't have the 3D glasses. I have to go to steal them from the Cinema Nouveau in Rosebank. I think they still do. Do we still do 3D movies?
I don't know. I think it was a fad.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious. It was a fad.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious. I don't really watch movies. The last movie I watched was Jacqueline Bisset in the Deep. That was the last film I saw. I sometimes say I've seen films, but I haven't. And I think it's the most pointless lie. People say to me, "Did you see Bridges of Madison County?" I say, "Yes, it's fantastic." And I think, what a pointless lie. Why not just say no?
Do you do the same?
Didn't you love that scene where the horse whisperer speaks into the horses? You loved that. Yeah, that was fantastic. I really like that.
Highlight of the movie for you.
I haven't seen it. I'll say I have, but I haven't.
Now, do you do the same with books, Mark? If people say to you,
yes.
"Have you read?"
Yes.
And then you go, "Of course I've read it. Hasn't everybody?"
Yes. Yes. I've read it. There was 2 goats on a rubbish dump once, and the one had just finished eating a book, and the goat said, "What did you think of that?" And the film was much better. I'm a bit like that. I even sometimes take pictures of, just now and then I bring out a camera, and start snapping pictures. And there's never, ever been a film in it, ever.
Do people not ask you to see the photographs, or do they just assume?
No, never. Never, ever. Never, ever. It's like my matric certificate I never got. No one has ever asked to see it. Ever. Have you ever been asked for your matric certificate?
No.
No. I didn't get one.
Did you need it, Mark?
Of course. We had to have that. Otherwise, we're going to be an ambulance driver or end up working in the theatre.
True. Careful now.
I don't know. That's a tricky one, that one.
It is indeed.
People sometimes ask to see my birth certificate, that's a bit of a worry, because I was at Weinberg Girls until standard 7. That was, it's a very long story. I won't go into it. But
it was the best 7 years of your life.
2 years. Till standard 7, it all started coming apart.
Things happen.
We didn't have duct tape then. I used to have to use old sticky tape for the, it's a long story, but I got out of that one time.
Mark, can we go back to the beginning
Yes.
of Mark Bank? Did you always want to do comedy, or are you qualified to do something else?
Yes, I am qualified. I've never wanted to do comedy. I don't do comedy. I don't know where all these stories about me doing comedy and all these shows and stand-up gigs and things. I don't do it. It's not me.
Is it an impersonator then? Somebody who's pretending to be Mark Banks?
Well, we've got Alan Committee, he sort of does Mark Banks light. He's got the franchise to do me funny, which I think is the best way I think a comedian can be done. So he does that very well.
So what are you trained to do then?
Sorry, what am I trained to do?
Yes, what is Mark Banks?
You know what I do?
What do you do?
I'm a watch repairer.
But I
You
thought
know
you'd
that.
stop doing that, Mark.
Well, I say I have, but I haven't really. I take it to other watch repairers. I take it to those two that do the dog and cat tags on the main road. On the main road in Hyde Park in front of Furnos. They do all my watch repairs.
And then
They also engrave the watches like they do dog and cat tags. I do that, and I do lampshade recovering, ornamental furnishings. There's a new line that I brought out now, which is it's called Driving for Dummies, which I've started now. It's a series of anti-hijack heads that you can put into your car. It looks like there are people in the car with you, and it's dummy heads. It's heads of dummies.
Right.
Right, male and female. You even get dogs. We even got dummy dogs, which you can have a great big Alsatian next to you.
Can you put their heads out of the window with their tongues lolling out and their ears blowing in the wind?
Yes, that's an additional extra of 175 rand, depending on the dog. The beagle tongues have been proving a bit of a hazard when they put those out of the window, and they've got the beagle tongue with the ears flapping, and the thing creates a bit of a distraction. For hijackers, people wanting to kill you, people smash and grabbers. It is a great deterrent.
So how
and the line has gone viral. It's one of our biggest lines that we have at the moment.
Really?
Driving for Dummies.
And
you get two or three on the back seat.
Yeah.
Person next to you. So it's like there's 4 people in the car with you.
Wow. And it's never been thought of before, Mark?
Never ever been done before. It was done in the turn of the century in about 1907. It was done in horse-drawn carriages going through highwayman areas. They had dummies with them in the carriage. It's never been done up until now. I thought of that.
So what is Mark Bank, or how is Mark Banks keeping himself occupied during these rather strange times that we find ourselves in currently?
Very, very strange times. And it just goes on and on and on. And I was told today, today's day 78, I was told today there could be another 45 to 60 days. The council who's in charge of all that, who decides on how much longer it's going to be going on for, apparently they've gone away on holiday for a month. They needed a month's holiday now. So we'll only know in a month's time when the extension will be, and then they'll have to have a meeting about the extension. So we won't know until next year.
Is there going to be a next year, or is 2021 just going to be 2020?
We go straight into 2023. 2022, we've sold to a Malaysian consortium, and that was date captured. It's a new form of theft which has taken place. Date capture.
You mean like,
so we go
like
straight
identity,
into 2023.
Like identity fraud? They've now stolen the year.
They've stolen the year. We sold the year off. The year was sold to a Malaysian consortium based in Dubai, which was a front, funny enough, for Discovery. Discovery and Vitality Health, which is why they formed it as a world banking group, so they could get the year offshore and get it away from the present year where it should be. So then, as part of the banking group.
What about us regular South Africans? How are we going to deal with this if the year has been taken away? Do we just continue writing 2020 until somebody tells us otherwise?
Yeah, until we get the New World Order, and nobody knows what that New World Order could be.
And what about days of the week, Mark? I'm very concerned about that as well. Will that not have been usurped by somebody?
Nobody knows what day of the week it is anymore. Have you noticed that? People have lost that ability to know what day it is. People say, oh, it's day, so they just call it day. The day will be called day, and night will be called night.
And a weekend will
meet.
And what about what was referred to as a weekend? Are we still going to have those? Does it matter?
No, it'll be day, that day. Officially, when we have that. But we will be able to buy flip-flops again. We'll be able to wear flip. I think yesterday that was pushed through when they opened the golf courses. They've opened the golf courses, but you can't play golf on it.
And but they haven't opened the tennis courts, which I find very strange.
Really? The
Yeah.
tennis court's still closed? Do people
Tennis
still play
courts are still.
tennis?
But tennis is
Really?
a distancing sport anyway. You're on opposite sides of the net. You don't come anywhere near each other.
Yeah.
What about short sleeve shirts though, Mark, without a jersey? Can we do those?
Only if you wear espadrilles. You have to wear espadrilles
Wow.
with the short sleeve shirts. And a Cuban flag on your beret.
Okay.
On your beret, and then
But-
you have to take it, and then you just throw it. You just throw it in front of you as you arrive. That's called Chuck Beret.
Like Chuck Norris.
Chuck
But-
Beret.
Chuck Berry. But it took me
Let's
a
go with
moment.
it.
I'm
Let's go
sorry.
with it, David.
been
I'm
a
on new
long day.
medication. It is, David, isn't it? Is it?
Who knows?
Yes, it is. Sorry. Oh, cool.
Rabbi
How are
Batman.
you? How are you?
I'm well,
Yeah.
thanks.
What are all those things in the back? Are you in a framing shop? Where are you? It looks like you're in a bad framing shop somewhere. Where are you?
I'm in my office, Mark.
Oh my goodness! It looks like you're at the back of Frame-A-Spec. What?
There's all sorts of nice
During the
stuff here.
auction. Okay. At home? Are you at home?
I'm at home.
Home.
I'm at home.
Fantastic. You're in lockdown here.
Purportedly at
In
home in
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Lockdown with
I've been
my wife.
writing a lot.
I'm
I've
writing.
been writing a lot.
I have indeed. In fact, I have been busier since in the last 70 odd days than I have been in a long while. There's nothing else to do, so I write or talk to people like you.
Fantastic.
I am talking to you.
I was actually, funny enough, catching up with a lot of friends who I wouldn't normally catch up with, and a lot of family. I found an aunt, my eldest aunt, my mother's eldest sister.
Right.
I got her.
Did you know she
I got her
existed?
that day. No, I didn't either. Couldn't believe it. On Skype.
Right. So you
This is
using
Zoom, isn't it?
this is Zoom, but you
I'm
using
using
all the
Zoom.
platforms.
I'm using Skype, and of course, before this, you do know that I'm a qualified and professional medium. I am a medium.
Rather than a rare or a well done.
No, my brother was a large, and my youngest brother was an extra large. I'm a medium, which I discovered the other day. I've lost so much weight. And now you can buy, apparently we are still allowed to buy underwear. We can, but it has to be crop bottom and medium. So I just fit the profile.
But I'm a bit concerned, though, Mark. You know, with all these Zoom and Skype conferences, we only see medium close-up of people. What's happening to the rest of the humans? Are we just devolving into nothingness? Do we need our legs anymore? No,
we'll just be talking heads. In fact, soon we won't even have to get up. It'll just be a camera above the bed. You will just have to. It's too terrifying.
You know, I was chatting to John Flismus a few days ago, and he was telling me because
what's he saying now?
He spoke very highly of you. He spoke very highly of you. But he got a really nice chair for his birthday, and he tells me he spends up to 17 hours a day at his desk, purportedly working in his new position. You know?
Yes. Yeah. He got a chair for his birthday. Wonder who
as
got in that.
As one does now, Mark. What else do you need?
Don't know.
You know, you could get a chair.
It's difficult when you get somebody for a birthday present. What a strange birthday present to get. A chair.
Yeah, a very nice chair. Looks like a racing seat on wheels.
Okay. Has it got? Can you plug it in? Can you turn it on? I'll pop round later and help him. It's a strange gift, a chair.
Yeah. You know, different strokes, Mark. What is the best birthday gift you've ever been given?
An angle grinder, funny enough. I had so much fun. You've no idea. That's when I started breaking it. No, you'd be amazed what you can get rid of with an angle grinder. What you can do with an angle grinder.
And a
Fantastic. I had
chainsaw?
so much fun. No.
I'd rather have a chainsaw than an angle grinder.
Oh, and a battery. I once got a battery-operated smoke machine, which is fantastic. Somebody gave it to me in New York. A battery-operated smoke machine. It was fantastic. Especially on the flight coming back from New York on a great big Boeing 747. Oh. 1 o'clock in the morning when people don't always know when they're that noise the smoke machine makes.
Yeah.
Fill the whole fuselage with smoke. My God, you should have heard the screaming, David. It was fantastic. And it was remote controlled, so I put it in the overhead hold.
Yeah.
About 4 seats down from where I was sitting. All this smoke poured. Oh my goodness!
Did you film it though, Mark?
Emergency landing on Tristan da Cunha.
But did you film it so you could put it on on Facebook?
The cell phone hadn't been invented then. We just got the first battery-operated smoke machine.
What a
I think
pity.
Richard Loring was 19. Quite a way back. It's Minnie Kutz's birthday today. She's 88. Des Lindbergh was 79 yesterday.
He was indeed. I will be.
Glenn de Kemp just had 100th.
I will be 67 very soon as well.
Again.
Last year? Yeah. No, it just keeps going round and round, Mark. I've never quite understood it.
Don't get it. I don't feel any different now from when I was 14. I really don't. And I probably knew more then than now.
So you were an old 14. Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, I hated children. I hated children as a child. I hated teenagers as a teenager. I couldn't wait to be adult.
What were you like at school, Mark?
I don't know, a bit inconsequential. Wasn't the class clown. Just wanted to get out of school as quickly as possible. I didn't know why I was learning the digestive system of the frog and the difference between monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous roots.
Have you never needed those?
I use them all the time, funny enough, especially when I go through 4-ways. I use that a lot, and I use it to get out of John Foster holding cells on a Monday morning.
Because they think you're saying impressive stuff.
Well, I never really understood why we were taught half the stuff we were taught. I've never ever used it, ever. Not any of it.
And I also remember at primary school, they used to give out certificates if you didn't miss a day of school. They used to give out certificates
I got that.
of attendance.
I always got that for good attendance.
But why? You say they didn't ask for your matric certificate. Have they ever asked for that of you?
I have one. I have several different matric certificates. I even have my matric certificate from Weinberg Girls, the Beverly Banks.
Has it stood you in good stead when applying for certain jobs, Mark?
Yes. What I say, do you want to see it? And no one's ever said yes. Never ever. And I have the envelope with it in. And well, there's nothing in there. It's just an old piece of cardboard from an old shirt I bought once at Tony Factor's downtown shirt sale in 1977. I say, here it is. And they look at the old tatty envelope from the Oxford Hotel in Rosebank, Weinberg Girls stamped on the front, and nobody's ever wanted to see it or read it. It's a bit like rave notices, rave reviews from critics.
Right.
Nobody wants to read them or see them. Nobody cares. It's like photo albums when you're interested. Nobody's interested.
Have you kept posters from your various gigs or any of that?
No posters, no press cuttings, no programs, nothing. None of it.
So basically,
after the last raid, that they took everything.
Did they promise to get it back to you, Mark, or did they just walk away with it?
Said, I will
That's
never
it.
see it ever again. I've kept none of it. I have no posters. I have no nothing. Nothing. It's strange, really. I had recently. I've had to take 3 separate homes of stuff. I had a partner who died, and going through all the stuff, the suitcases of programs, because we were all in the theatre together. He played in the orchestra. I was always in stage management and sort of in theatre before I started doing one-man shows. So there's always programs and bric-a-brac and reviews and things in the paper. Just suitcases, rooms of suitcases of stuff. Which I thought, well, why are we keeping all this? And of course, with technology the way it is now, we don't really need all that anymore.
It's all digitized anyway. It's in the cloud somewhere.
Except the moon landing that they lost. Hey, that film that disappeared.
It was filmed by the same guy that filmed the Kennedy assassination, and that film will eventually come to the fore, Mark. In 40 years' time.
If the moon landing film footage, I'd love to see that.
Talking of the moon landing, did you watch when the most recent one went up, when Dragon X, Elon Musk's new Tesla in the sky, went up to the ISS? And you look at the technology there. I mean, it looks like it was shot at Urban Brew Studios.
It probably was. It probably was shot at Urban Brew Studios. It's the sort of thing that lends itself to hoax, doesn't it? The Urban Brew Studios hoax. In fact, I think Urban Brew Studios are a hoax. It's not really a studio. It's a moon landing. It's not a studio. It's a moon landing.
Oh, Mark. So where to now?
Did man land on the moon?
Who knows?
Did he land on the moon?
I'd like to believe that he did.
Incredible. I'd like to believe that he did.
I mean, I remember it. I still have the newspaper cutting, one of the few that I kept.
I do remember. Yes, I remember the newspaper. It was a color picture, which was very rare then for 1969. I think the 23rd of September 1969. And I remember his visor, I think it's called, on his helmet.
Yeah.
Being an astronaut. I remember in the reflection, you could see 5 or 6 people standing in reflection on his visor, and one man had a pole with a microphone thing on the end of it, and somebody had a clapperboard you could see in the background.
And also
so
left
of young Emil Nofel.
And left of that shot, Mark, was the guy with the script written big, and then Neil Armstrong still got the wording wrong.
He got the wording wrong, and he was supposed to say a small man for a big leap and a little leap for a leper, was what he was supposed to say, which was Latin for the eagle has its toenails.
Mark, have you got anything planned for later this year, work-wise?
Yes, I'm doing the Life and Times of Olive Schreiner. I play Olive Schreiner from a little babe in arms to when she died at the age of 79. I play her young, and various other people play it. No, I'm doing a retrospective show. I'm doing a show called Mark Banks: A Lifetime of Comedy.
But that before, I want to unpack that with you. But I want to talk to you about Mark Banks on Ice. What is the series be? Is it Mark Banks on Ice?
Yes. They wanted a short title. They said, "What can we call your show? We need a short title." Peter Turin.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Peter Turin. Is he listening? Does he watch you? I bet he does. Peter Turin said, "Why don't you do a nice show? You should do a nice show." And I said, "Well, what I'll do?" He said, "You will do one." And we're going to call the show Mark Banks: A Nice Show. Went to his scaly printer that he uses in Cape Town, and the posters came back and said, "Mark Banks: An Ice Show." an ice show.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have them reprinted because he'd already paid for them. So we had to go with it. Mark Banks, a nice show. A nice show.
So you don't
Mark
actually appear.
And there's never been a one-man ice show.
But do you appear on
that
ice?
show's finished. We've done that one.
No.
The new show is called. The new show is called It Only Happens When I Dance With You.
And you're going to fit that on a poster?
Yes. Well, it's long ways poster. So it won't be that way poster. It'll be a long ways poster.
And when can we expect this one?
It's opening in March of this year, 3 months ago, when it was supposed to open at the Rumbelow Theatre in Pietermaritzburg, outside Alan Payton's old college.
Okay.
So we're going to have to move it to later in the year.
Are you not looking at doing
Lifetime of Comedy, which is a retrospective of me? I'm doing Mark Banks' The Titanic Disaster, Mark Banks' The Moon Landing, a hoax, and then It Only Happens When I Dance With You.
You're not thinking about doing any of these digitally in the meantime? Just to sort of give the audience a teaser.
No. These digital Zoom things, they're desperate. These podcasts, these people in their lounge who are snapping off their fingers with guillotines, and it's just too terrifying. I've never seen anything so desperate in my life. But apparently it all works and people love them. No, it's pathetic. It must stop immediately. Comedy has to be live. It can't be done. It can't be done as a podcast it's ridiculous. Don't you find that?
Well,
don't you find it a bit desperate with an account number where you have to put the money in to get the rand back? And it's too terrifying. It really, really is.
It is indeed.
I just give my money to Community Chest, rather.
Does that still exist?
I've no idea.
They're taking your money anyway.
I don't know. I say I give money to charity. I don't give a penny. Not a penny. To no one. I say I do, but I don't.
But you don't. Mark, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there for this Sad and Sorry podcast from my office to your veranda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being in conversation with me this afternoon. It's been
an
absolute
very
pleasure.
Thank you.